positive attitude kind of thing, the sentimentality, I guess, of Spielberg. And so it's really cool to see him balance all of these elements throughout the entirety of the film and introduce them to you right away.
Yeah, like all the rural Indiana stuff is very interesting because it feels like it would just be like a normal domestic drama film of some kind.
Yeah.
You know, a dad's relationship to his kids or something like that. But we do get to see how this strange anomaly is affecting their community as well as, you know, so like you do have like the creepy bit with the toys. But I also like the unseen figure like rummaging through his fridge, which leads Barry, the little boy, to like go like laughing around and like chasing him into the farm field outside. This amazing wide vista of the house and the yard as the kid disappears into the darkness.
Yeah, from the perspective of the window. Oh man.
Yes. Oh my God.
And the little effect of the doggy door like going really fast but then stopping as if he just missed the alien. It's fucking great.
Yeah, which we're gonna repeat the shot of the doggy door too, which is like even like to set that up too. Like like again, the visual command is kind of again, a Spielberg movie is well shot. Whoa, it's so crazy. But you know, it just
even his foreshadowing
going to be a lot of what
level.
this episode is. So gear up.
yeah, like his foreshadowing is next level because he just doesn't do it through plot or writing. He's doing it through his style and compositions. Like everything that you see in this first sequence with Barry and his mother directly correlates to the sequence where he's actually abducted and it turns into more of a horror thing rather than like a suspense mystery thing. And it's just to have that setup, and it's not just one, it's like, you know, quite a few shots that really pay off. And that's just one sequence.
And also the whiplash you get with like the kid's performance too.
He's good.
Spielberg's always been good at getting performances out of kids, but like this kid, the way that he like smiles and he's like stoked and he's like, you know, it's like it has that very boyish like, oh, I've discovered something amazing. This is so cool, which is something that also affects the main character of the film, Roy Neary, played by Richard Dreyfuss from Jaws, which I was very stoked to learn that Dreyfuss was like apparently, you know, like not his first choice for the film. And he actually considered so many different actors that you would know from that would have changed the film to like from Steve McQueen to James Caan to Dustin Hoffman. And Dreyfuss's line about it, which was that he was hearing about Spielberg kind of like writing this film while he was working on Jaws. They were shooting Jaws together, so he was hearing about this movie every day, and he straight up said, I launched myself into a campaign to get this part. I would walk by Steve's office and I would just say stuff like, Al Pacino has no sense of humor, or Jack Nicholson is too crazy. And, you know, he was literally just being
McQueen
like, I want to... Yes, like, I am going to be your guy for this film, and you kind of have to accept it. And you know what? He plays the role like a guy who was passionate about the role. Like he is in this role as this electrician who we're introduced to teaching his son math using a model train set, probably the train set everyone who saw The Fabelmans should be familiar with.
Right.
And just the domestic chaos of their household is probably one of the more, again, sort of like visually impressive things that Spielberg does in this film. And it creates a weird sense of eeriness and strangeness about the neighborhood, like before the power outages actually even start happening. Like there's some like straight up De Palma blowout split diopters where you can see like his wife Ronnie, played by Terry Garr of After Hours in The Conversation, trying to hand him a newspaper with movie show times on it. And she's doing it, you know, in this very loving way. She's like, you know, you promised to take the kids last week. We're going to go to the movies. And the framing is just a split diopter so that we have like this really deep focus and we can really see the entire room. And you can see all his tools and cables, just a jumbled mess behind his head. In the other corner of the frame, his one kid is just in the corner, just like smashing a doll over and over again and almost drowning out the dialogue at times. And also, there's also this like shadow that's cast on the corners of the room that also like hit his face sometimes. So he's just he completely doesn't feel you know, like he's a part of his family. Like there's something disjointed about them. And part of it is also, you know, how Dreyfuss plays him. Like he plays him relatively smart and focused guy, but like selfishly so.
Yes.
Like at the expense of his family, even in little scenes like this. Like in that moment when she's handing him the paper, one of my favorite details is he doesn't hear his wife's voice at all. He's just straight up ignoring her.
Yes.
As she literally has to walk over, shove it in his face, and then he spots the Pinocchio showtime, which catches his personal attention, and he goes, okay, now I'm going to talk to you about this because I would love to take the kids to go and see Pinocchio, even though all they want to do is play goofy golf.
Yeah.
Because they think Pinocchio is old and lame and he thinks it's magic.
Yeah. And this is a little later too, but it directly connects to another thing that he's expressing with his wife, where they have kind of a romantic moment where they, I can't remember if it's after or before they see the UFOs, but it's in the spot where they're going to look for them and see them pass. And she's like, oh, this is the exact place that we went on this one date before, and it was super romantic, and we kind of fell in love deeper and all of that. And as they're kissing and embracing each other, he opens his eyes and looks up to the sky. He's still completely
looking
distracted.
for the UFO.
Yeah, and so they have these little sprinkles throughout that show that, and I thought that was
that's a great moment. Like that's a very sad and kind of deflating moment. And it does happen. It does happen after they see the UFO as well, because that happens during the scene when Dreyfuss, like after he sees the UFO, he goes home, he's super sweaty, and he's like rambling and freaking out. And it's a scene apparently ripped straight from Spielberg's childhood, where he was like, there was one night where his dad woke the entire family up in the middle of the night, threw them all into the car while they were still half asleep, and said, "Come check out this amazing thing." And he showed them a meteor shower.
Oh, sweet.
And so that's what Dreyfuss does in this scene, but he wants to show them a UFO, and it's literally the same scene. It's like him sweaty. It's like, you have to come see this. Like he's dragging his children out of the bed.